Hello, everybody. Today, as promised, we are talking about masks and how to make them. Though rather than actually sewing them together, I am kind of cheating today. Um, kind of trying to simplify it even more by using something that everybody has at least one or two of, and that being this little sucker. Uh, Safety pins can actually be used for mask making. Um, I tried to make a fairly old looking one here, and rather than stitching I used nothing but safety pins. So, I'm kind of going to show you guys how to make some really quick ones. But first, we are going to start out with the oldest version of a mask, being probably about 150 years ago, before anybody actually knew about germs and how they were airborne usually. Um, Basically, your general gist of a mask is a bandana wrapped around your face. So, um, especially for women, you would take your kerchief. Kerchiefs are basically what you were wearing under your dress to keep the sweat from eating your dress away. So you could take that off, wrap it around your face, and keep the dust and whatever else um, out of your lungs, out of your sinuses, things like that. Um, Really simple, just fold in half, wrap around your face, and go. Today, this is actually one of the ways that you can kind of protect yourself, at least according to everything I have read. Except rather than just folding it in half, you want to fold it as many times as possible, because apparently multiple layers is better. Um, Kind of feels really bulky and gross, if you ask me, but that is also why I haven't left. Um, or when I have not been wearing one because there aren't that many people I come in contact with on a daily basis anyway. So, that is your 150-year-old version. The next variation would be closer to 1900s, where that version is still very common. Not nine. Yes, 1900s. Early 1900s. The other version that you start seeing a lot of is one similar to this. Um, Usually cotton, wool, maybe linen like this one. A lot of times mixtures of all of those to get a very thick fabric but breathable, just to kind of keep grossness off your face. Um, you can see there are lots of pleats in this one. Basically, so when you put it on, it'll actually cover your face. Um, in this particular version that I did literally minutes ago, there are 7 pleats. I made them fairly large, about 1/4 inch, out of a chunk of linen that I have, and then just used cotton cording for ties. And again, this one is safety pinned together. So you just basically, when you're safety pinning it, if you want to do this variation, just put more layering to it. Um, you pin one corner of the plate and then the next plate. That way it actually holds it together. If you were stitching this together, which you most certainly can, basically the same concept would apply, except you want to go over these pleat spots so that they're actually held down. You can even do a back stitch over them just to make sure they're nice and secure. Now, variations of this are going around, and they do work. Basically, with this version, you still want to do the pleats, but you want to use 2 to 3 layers. And with this version, you can actually leave a pocket open so that you can put a filter in, if you can find one. Basically, from what I can gather of the filters people are using, you can use your air filters for the house. Apparently, I have seen lots of videos of how to do that. Or you could just take interfacing, because it's basically the same exact thing. Just do like 2 layers of interfacing inside of this, and then over this you put whatever decorative cover you want over it. Um, Basically the same concept would apply, except rather than cotton cord, unless you really want to tie 2 strings to your face, you can use elastic. You can still safety pin elastic to your mask. It gets a little more complicated. You need to kind of work your way through the elastic a few more times just to make sure that it doesn't stretch and pull apart when you're putting it on. So those are two versions of this. The other version is variations with bandana, something else that lots of people have, whether it's a bandana or a handkerchief or just a piece of cloth that you've cut in half and happen to basically make a giant square out of. In order to get multiple layers that they couldn't get in the 1800s, or they didn't think about trying to create, you can fold your bandana in half again, and you can tie it that way. That way you have 4 layers in front of your face rather than just 2. Or, really cool one I saw not long ago involving the hair bows, is basically you fold, rather than into a triangle, in half again. So you get about yay much, hopefully not as twisted as mine. Usually mine go in my hair, not on my face. From this point, you then fold a little bit in on both sides. Put your hair bows in. Like so, we have our hair bows here. And then you fold it together one more time and kind of tuck one half into the other half. This is the side facing your face. If you put it the other way, it will fall apart. But your hair bows go around your ears and it makes it a little bit adjustable. So you can make it big enough for your face without having to cut extra material like you would with those. Another version that I played with earlier, if you don't want to use hair bows or have no time to go searching for any, you still do your triangle, fold up on your triangle, and then fold it one more time so you have about yay much. And from here, you take one side, twist one direction, like so, and then you do the same thing to the other side, but you twist the opposite way. That way, when you put it on your face and tie it in the back, it doesn't come untied, but you don't have giant pieces of material covering your ears. You only have a small strip, twisted strip, but strip nonetheless, instead. So, very short and sweet, kind of to the point today. But that's the basics on how to make masks. Probably I might do this tomorrow. We will see. I might throw up a quick tidbit on the history of masks and throw some pictures in as well throughout the ages, just so everybody gets a gist that this isn't the first time everyone has had to wear a mask. If you even so choose to wear one. With where I am in basically the middle of nowhere for Virginia, or at least according to the rest of the state, you don't run into that many people, and the ones you do run into are usually family, and you know who's been sick, you know who hasn't, whether you want them to or not. So, not too worried about it. But, nonetheless, other people need to be worried about it, and this is where we are. So, that is basically all I've got today. Next time, possibly next week, if I can get somebody to hold the camera this time, we will go over hairstyles instead. We're going to 360 this a little bit. Basically, Mom's idea was to do 1860s, 1850s, 1860s hairstyles. I might start out on myself and then go to her or my sister, depending on who's around and who's willing. But that's about it. Thanks for tuning in. if you have any questions, please ask him in the comments, and I will try my best to answer them. And if you have any other ideas on what to cover, please put them in the comments below. I will do my absolute best to hit all of them. Thanks.